And welcome back to Law and Crime. Good to have you along. We are now bouncing back to Boise, Idaho for the Doomsday cult prophet trial. Of course, 55-year-old Chad Daybell facing 3 counts of first-degree murder for the 2019 deaths of Tammy Daybell, Tylee Ryan, and Joshua JJ Vallow. The kids just so young at the time. The mother, of course, Lori Vallow Daybell, sentenced about a year ago to prison, will not get out, no parole. So Chad and Lori, according to the prosecutors, were leaders of a religious cult of some sort, and they believe that's what led to these crimes. Daybell looking at the death penalty, something Lori did not have to deal with. This trial is scheduled for about 10 weeks. Let's get back to court now. We've been listening to testimony from Melanie Gibb. This is cross-examination.
Do you remember in one of your text messages to Prosecutor Wood that you mentioned that you were there at the Firm Foundation for about 10 hours taking pictures? Do you recall talking to Prosecutor Wood about that?
I don't recall talking to him about that.
Is it possible you spoke to him about that?
It's possible.
Okay. So you were at the Firm Foundation and you said you were there for about 10 hours, correct?
I think I was. I just don't remember.
Okay. And do you recall that it was rather late at night on Saturday when you got done with the Firm Foundation?
Yes, yes.
And you didn't see Chad that night either, did you?
I don't recall seeing him.
Okay, right. So then we go on to Sunday. And you and Dave slept in that morning, correct? Recall that?
I do not recall that.
Okay. Anyway, you woke up late, apparently, and Lori...
Objection, Your Honor. Misstates the prior testimony and counsels it's a narrative.
Sustained. Was it possible you slept in till late Sunday morning?
No.
It's not possible?
I don't sleep in.
Okay, thank you. Okay. And then, do you recall that Lori gave you a haircut that Sunday?
Yes.
Okay, and how long did that take?
A few hours because she colored my hair too.
Okay, so that was Sunday morning, correct?
I think so.
Okay, and do you recall about what time that was?
I don't.
Okay. Sometime in the morning, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then you folks of church Sunday afternoon will go out and look at a piece of property. Do you recall having that conversation with Lori?
I don't recall, but it's possible.
Okay, so is it possible you're just confused about the facts and the time to go visit the land was really early to late afternoon on Sunday?
I felt like her seeing a piece of land that I talked about first, and then the going to see that land for sale was second. That's just my memory.
Oh, so you went to see a piece of land with Lori first?
Well, I wouldn't consider it was just this empty field that was behind a church, but it wasn't for any purpose of being purchased.
So you were traveling to the piece of property that you were going to go look with Alex and David, but you were traveling with Lori at that point, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Misstates the testimony. It's a narrative. I'd move to strike.
Overruled.
You were traveling with Lori to go look at the piece of property with the real estate person, correct?
No.
Who were you traveling with?
I don't know who I was traveling with. I think maybe Dave and I were in the truck and we drove over there. I don't remember.
You don't remember. So it's possible that you were traveling with Lori as well, right?
No.
Okay. So you remember you weren't with Lori.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. But you had mentioned that you and Lori went to see a piece of parcel first.
Yes.
Okay. And then subsequent to that, you went to look at another piece of property, correct?
Correct.
And then Chad was meeting you at that second piece of parcel, correct?
Correct.
And then do you recall you told in an interview to law enforcement that Chad was still in his church clothes at that point?
Could be.
Okay. Well, do you remember that or not?
I don't remember the conversation.
Okay. So it's possible that you told law enforcement that Chad was in his church clothes in the afternoon when he went out to see the property, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Again, cross-exam with Melanie Gibb. Quick kudos to the court for amping up the audio. We had issues early on, but it's really so much better. Catherine Lizardo is here. Natalie Whittingham-Burrell. Natalie, so this is an important witness, a very foundational witness that we saw version 1 with Lori Vallow Daybell. What nuances does she bring to this trial that might be a little bit different?
Well, she's going to speak now to her direct interactions with Chad Daybell, which were not really relevant to Lori Vallow Daybell's trial. They're completely relevant in this trial. And so she's giving us more information on how she's receiving word and instruction from Chad Daybell, direct interactions with him that we didn't really know about before. You even heard that Daybell's attorney was a bit surprised. Oh, you did see him that day, right? What did he say to you? And then what happened next? So I think we're getting more of an insider's perspective of both sides of the coin of Lori Vallow Daybell and Chad Daybell here.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And I got to say that John Pryor's style is disarming. You know, he actually is he's just a folksy kind of guy, and he may be sticking it to you and you don't even know it. So good for him. Again, like I said, Law and Crime here, we learn good and we learn bad. Hey, here's the bad. I've got to thank and excuse Natalie Whittingham-Burrell. Thank you. Always good to have you on. I can't wait to see you next time. Have a great weekend. Sticking around with me, of course, will be Catherine Lizardo. I don't know why, but she's going to stay. We'll take a break. We'll come back more out of Idaho right after this.